I'm Jacob Vandervliet. I'm a track sprinter, and I've been going hard at track for about 2.5 years now. My dad used to race, so I was like born on a bike pretty much. I rode as a junior, but yeah, taking it seriously for about 2.5 years. So track cycling is the one where you go around a velodrome, and sprinting is a very small part of cycling as a whole, where we go really fast for like 2 or 3 laps.
Can you bounce to that with me?
My name is Thomas Andrew, and I am a track sprint cyclist. Track sprint cycling is if you take, do you want a serious answer? Track sprint cycling is the discipline for velodrome cycling, where instead of doing like 100 laps at like 50K an hour, you do 3 laps at about 70K an hour. I don't know if that's the serious answer or the joke answer anymore. Track cycling is where you get to be a fat guy on a bike and rip your bike in half and go 3,000 watts as fast as you can and be a gorilla on a bike. If that didn't sell you, I don't know what to tell you. It's sick. I have a dinner plate for a front gear. This is kick ass.
Yeah, sprinting's sick because you get to go super fast. Like, it's the guys up there at the Olympic level, like they're going 80 plus K an hour around the velodrome. Like it's sick. You get to ride your bike crazy fast. And yeah, so like there's track cycling, which is like a subsection of cycling, and then there's track sprinting, which is a subsection of that. And the people who are track sprinters are not at all close to the same people that are even track endurance athletes. Like track endurance athletes are probably more powerful on the bike than like a roadie, but then there's track sprinters, which is like even more power focused. Totally different. We're still spinning pedals, but yeah, it's a completely different sport in my eyes. I chose to be a sprint cyclist because I like riding, but I don't like the long form stuff, and we were already working out in the gym, and so we were like, what can we go and compete in that takes the gym work, and like we won't have to stop the gym work, and we can go and use it for something competitive. And track sprinting was kind of the perfect thing that just kind of fit that.
We'd gotten some PRs in the gym. We're like, yeah, we can make this go somewhere. And we knew people from our past who were cyclists and had connections in cycling. We knew we had a velodrome here. We knew the sprint cycling was something that if we're like stronger, like baseline people, we could develop that into the athleticism required for this kind of cycling. And then after the initial like period of getting into it, sprinting is so fun. Sprinting is awesome. I hated road riding as a junior. I hated it because like 75% of the way through, I'm cooked. I'm done. I've lost this race. I got shot out the back, and now I've wasted like 2 hours of my life and I feel like dog shit. But now I can go absolutely hog wild on these bikes, rip handlebars off and put the boot on as hard as I can, drop 2,000 watts and go 70 kilometers an hour and throw my bike over the line. And it's awesome. It's NASCAR on bikes. You're a human Lamborghini. You get to have huge, thick thighs and have a gut, and it's awesome. It's so cool. And our team is sick. The training is super fun. There's a little healthy salting of drama with trying to even get racing to happen or keep a velodrome from being bulldozed and replaced with a 95th soccer pitch. What's not to like, other than puking your guts out after an effort? But you know, that there had to be something that was not good about it, right?
Yeah, we train 6 days a week. It's all very high intensity, so whether it's on the bike or in the gym, we're always pushing as hard as we can. In the off season, we're on the bike every other day pretty much, on just a indoor trainer thing that we hook our bike up to. We use it because it's kind of the closest feel to the real world and like on the track and on the road, or it's still harder than like it has more resistance, but yeah, it's a loud fan that gets harder the quicker you pedal it. I mean, it's the same as everything. It's go as hard as you can for short amounts of time. So we'll do like 10-second full gas efforts, 20-second wind gates, that sort of stuff, which Doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when it's a full gas sprint, it's like puke worthy.
The name Flying Gorilla Academy is hilarious. So what we got taught is that originally there was a track sprinting team called the Flying Squirrel Academy, and our coach, Keith Bruneau, he was on the team, and someone made a joke at him like, well, you're more like a flying gorilla. And it kind of tracks. If you see all the sprinters that we train with, we're not exactly built like a normal cyclist is. When Jake and I joined the summer before our first season, we show up like two kind of out of shape, like strong fat guys. And we go, hey, we heard about you. We want to ride bikes. Can we join your team? And they looked at us like, oh, cool. Sure. And then they just started calling us Thing 1 and Thing 2 because they didn't really know if we were going to like actually follow through or stick with it before they got to know us. And my dad got us Thing 1 and Thing 2 red hoodies, and we've just kind of ran with it. Cooney then joined 1 year after we joined. So Cooney was at the track before we were. He's been here for a few years, and he was the fast guy at the track. And when we joined, we were, like especially me, we're getting our feet underneath us riding. And then in one season, we were beating him, right? And so maybe there's some of these gorillas. And then he ended up joining the team, and because he trained with us all the time, he kind of became Thing 3. Kind of adopted him into the sub-team of FGA West. Weight training as a cyclist is very ironic sometimes, as you tell people that you're a cyclist, and then they look at your gut and they go, I don't know about that. And then you tell them what you do in the gym, and they go, are you sure that you're a cyclist? It doesn't sound like you're a cyclist. We're gonna meet Cooney at the gym. He's one of our local teammates on our team, the Flying Gorillas. My other teammate, Jake, is in LA right now using the LA velodrome before we go to nationals, because the velodrome they have down in Los Angeles is very, very, very similar to the one that we'll be using in Quebec. So he's been very, very lucky to have that opportunity to go get that extra training in. Because here on the island, we don't typically get opportunities like that, having only an outdoor track to train on. The role play being a big fat guy every time I get in and out of a car.
Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah. No need for the snoozing. Big whip outside, I'm cruising. Big stick inside, no losing. Better watch out for the snake and Judas is. Don't ask them who this is. I bet they know where I'm moving in. I bet I show it in
Cooney.
them. How you hating then lose again?
I got something for you. Ignore the writing on the box.
What do I got? Yo, what?
It's been burning a hole in my pocket for like the last 2 weeks, and I figured I'd give it to you now.
Nice. Oh, Merry Christmas, man.
Well, I need to see if it fits or not.
I'm sure
first,
it does,
so.
yeah. A little bit ghosty, but
It'll shrink.
yeah,
Look at that.
nice.
Hell yeah. We're gonna rock up at Provincial.
Yeah, me, I'm moving quiet. Ask me, I'm needing an island. New watch is perfect timing. No need for the surface shining. Ask me, I need me a few. I need me an island. I'm keeping it true. The man, I'm a wild. I'm keeping it cool. No need for the telephone hype from you. Yeah, tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' rise. No need for the telephone hype, yeah. Tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online.
Most of our training in the gym with weights is trying to lift a heavy weight as fast as possible and then jumping on the bike right after to try and work on that explosiveness, because we're not trying to work on putting out power at like 500 watts for a minute. We're trying to work on putting out 2,500 watts for 5 seconds and going from 0 to 100 like that. And it's super intense and super hard. And that's half the fun too, is that you get to rest 5 to 20 minutes between a set, do it 4 times, feel like you're gonna snap your spine in half, and then eat 4,000 calories in a day. It's always fun to actually get to go to these main events, especially in the winter on the island, because it can be tough. You're in the dungeon for like 4 months straight. It's all the trainer in the gym. You never get to ride the track. There's not nearly enough racing. It is a breath of fresh air right before nationals. I just cracked my knuckles right into the mic, didn't I? Yeah. There's always the initial like kind of electricity, just that you're actually competing and actually trying to get a time, even if it's a small event. But then when you're at the day, there's some anxiety, you know, just you're at a sport where you only really get like 1 or 2 chances to move forward. It's awesome. Lots of anxiety, but that just comes with competition. So like if you've never watched the sport and suddenly you saw it on TV and you understand that it's like sprinting, you might think it's like the 100 meter, where like, why are you not just going? Like, why are you not just attacking? And with that, you have this sort of emergent thing where with track cycling, there's no real one body type or strength type is the best. So cat and mouse comes in, where you as someone in sprinting have your strengths and weaknesses, and depending on the position that you pick, you might want to force them into a disadvantaged situation. You might know that they're way snappier, but they don't have as much of a gas tank, or vice versa. So you're initially trying to jockey for a position that is advantageous to you, put them into a disadvantage, so that when it does turn into a drag race, that like tire width of a difference that you end up creating actually ended up happening like 400 meters ago. And now it's just a matter of that all unfolding.
I think I'm gonna barf.
Then we go to round 3.
One of the issues we run into, partly because since we're an outdoor track, we are at the whim of the weather. And so putting an event on in like late June, July, early August, well actually all through August rather, like that 2.5 month period, it's not really an issue. But if it rains at all, it's realistically a canceled event. The bikes aren't designed for racing on a wet surface, and there's no brakes on the bike. You can't stop pedaling, and the tires aren't like, they're not grippy. So if the concrete gets wet, the lines painted on the track get slick, and the only brakes that you're gonna find are your body on the concrete when you go down, right? So we kind of have that issue we run into. Another one is because we're on the island, people coming over have to get a ferry ticket, right? It can be tough for the logistics of putting an event on. Part of it is just because of COVID killing our numbers, and also just some bad luck that's happened putting on some larger events in previous years have just made it hard for people off island, or even just outside of the greater Victoria area, to justify making the trip over. That's the main issue we have. We've had big events, we've had large numbers of people turn out for events, and when people show up, they have a great time, right? It's not that when people are here, the event isn't enjoyable and isn't competitive and isn't fun. It's mostly just the consistency of the event being able to be put on if the weather's poor, and just the cost can be tough for people.
The Victoria scene is pretty small. The cycling community here is pretty good. Like there's the crit scene and there's the Victoria racing scene, which I think has actually pretty decent numbers. But a lot of people just don't know that the velodrome exists, which is crazy because it was like the Commonwealth Games was held there and stuff. But yeah, pretty small, but we're trying to grow it.
That does sound kind of tough, right? Because on top of that, it's also like it's cycling. Literally, everyone can ride a bike in North America, basically. Like, how is track cycling a niche sport? And I could point you to like a downtown Victoria crit race and show you the numbers there, and then that's like a run-of-the-mill, like, oh, we have one every month kind of crit, versus our peak event here, and the numbers are comically different. Like, track cycling is a very niche, specific discipline, and then track sprinting even more so, just because of the size of the field. It's not a super well-known athletic endeavor, even if it is something that falls under the Venn diagram of cycling, right, or as an Olympic sport.
Increasing the popularity it's something that we've been trying to do for a while. It was healthier before COVID. Like they had decent numbers, and then COVID came in and tanked everything. And I think we're starting to see some traction. Like we get some new riders in that stick around. Like we're new riders that have stuck around. And yeah, I think the main thing is we need to have like consistent events that are put on properly and run well. And then the more we have those, if we can just kind of slowly build up people who enjoy racing to know about it and then actually come for it because they know it's going to happen.
Everyone who's a part of the community here very clearly loves the sport. Like, anyone who's come for more than like 2 track sessions is there for like 80+% of track sessions. And then they show up for racing as well, right? And it shows in, even when we put the small events on and have a small turnout for numbers, everyone is going 100% in the races. No one's sandbagging, no one's rude to each other. People help each other, they share equipment. We've been super, super lucky to have the people around us who have had people we can talk to get entry-level stuff, who can help us find upgrades for our parts, who can help us get a bike fit, who can tell us what we want to avoid and what to get. So the culture is amazing, the sport itself is awesome and fun. The people we've gotten to like associate with and meet, and all the traveling we've got to do, it's everything. They love it.